What's up, everybody? ArealR32 here, still kind of under the weather. I'm still a bit cold, but I still wanted to put out a video for you guys today talking about these crazy Nekroz prices. And yes, everybody's already talked about them, but I want to talk about them from the aspect of a player who really wants to play Nekroz and what I believe that you should do since the set has pretty much just now dropped. People have been getting stuff early, even though it drops tomorrow on Friday the 13th, which I guess that's kind of appropriate now that I think about it, since Brio is almost over $100. It's basically $100, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. Um, Last night I did some adding up of stuff, and yesterday Brio was at $89.76. And if I'll pull up my phone on here, I took a screenshot of how much the deck would cost. This was for my build, the one with the fire and ice hands that you've seen on my channel and stuff. And that runs triple Unicore, triple Brio, double Trish. Everything else is pretty much standard. Triple Colossalos, double Exo, double Kaleido Mirror, and double Cycle. This was not including the 3 Unicores. This price came from everything else that I needed, plus the shirts, which are like $1 or $2. So with the 2 shirts and all the other stuff that I just mentioned, it came out to a grand total of $495.30. Keep in mind that Trish's were $44.95 at the time, and Brio's were $89.76 at the time. This was about almost 24 hours ago, since at the time of making this video, it's 6:34 p.m. and when I took this screenshot on my phone, it was 7:14 p.m. So nearly 24 hours ago, Brio was almost $90. And now, if we look at the prices here, I also want to discuss what I believe some of these cards' prices should be, and what you should pick them up for at that price. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. So first of all, Nekroz Exomirror. The lowest right now is $674, and I'm going to be going by the lowest, and at the very end, I'm going to add up everything all together with my prices and what the price that it'll come out to based upon the lowest. And then after that, I'll give a final grand total compared to the $495.30. Because really, this deck is not worth $500. Hell, it's not worth $1,000. I would say it's worth somewhere between the ballpark of $150 to $300. But we'll get there when we get there. This video is going to be a bit longer, so be sure to sit back and relax and enjoy. So, Exomirror is at $674 for the lowest right now. The average is $807. I believe this card to be a $2 to $5 card, and I don't have Shirt on here, but it's currently at its highest of like $1.98. That card needs to be about $1 or $2. For its low end, we're going to say that Shirt needs to be $1. I feel that Exomirror and Kaleido Mirror should both be the same thing at $2 to $5. These cards, what is it? I believe that they're secret rares. Yes, secret rare. And then so is Kaleido Mirror. Even though they're secret rares, they don't deserve to have a $7 to $10 price tag. They're just not worth that much. They're just ritual spells. If you don't have the other cards that go with them, then they're just useless cards. Exomirror and Kaleido Mirror are basically the same thing, except Kaleido Mirror lets you send a monster from your extra deck to the graveyard to summon multiple Nekrozes, ritual monsters. Other than that, it's the exact same thing as Nekroz Mirror, so I think that both of these cards should be about $2 to $5. So for all of our adding, like I said, we're going to be going by the lowest price. So I think it should peak at $5, and then the lowest it should be is $2. But again, like I said, for the math, we're going by the lowest. So right now, we're looking at 2 Nekroz Mirror for, if you're going by my build anyway, for $2. So that's $4. And it's gone up 8.88% in the past 3 days, 0% change in the past 24 hours. And that's Brio. He's currently at the lowest of $93. The highest right now is $119.83, and the average is $96.77. This card needs to tank. I mean, it needs to tank hard, because this card is not worth $90 at the lowest price. Hell, it's not worth $120, and definitely at an average of pretty much $100. It does not need to be there. I feel that this card should be somewhere around the 30 to 40 range, because let's be real, it's basically a Rhoda. And a Rhoda, even though it's a secret rare, and I'm taking the pulls, like the pull ratio of like 1 out of every 3 boxes, I'm taking those with a grain of salt, because personally I think that Trish needs to be worth more than Brio. I believe Brio should be about maybe $25 to $30, and I feel that Trish should be somewhere in the 35 to 40 range, and that's where it's almost at. It's like 45 to 50 right now. I think it should be somewhere around the 25 to 35, maybe 40 range. for Trish. As for Brio, I really think it should be a $25, $30, maybe $35 card. It has no reason to be this high of a price. You know, yes, it searches out pretty much everything in your deck, and yes, it has a pretty busted secondary effect to bounce back up to 2 monsters from the extra deck, but it's not over $100. Like, even Exciton wasn't even this high. The highest that Exciton that got to was like 105 or 110. Yes, Dracosat got to 200, but still, like, come on, people. The card does not need to be priced this high. It's ridiculous. So again, $25 to $30 at the max for this card. This card does not need to be this much. Oh my dear lord, the lowest right now is on eBay that comes with a Brio and a Digin releaser for $93, and the highest is all hollow Nekroz core from eBay for $330. I mean, now granted, that's actually a pretty decent deal. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you were to drop it down to 300, I would actually be pretty interested. But still, though, come on, this is outrageous. Anyways, so just now that I got that right out of the way, now this card is very fairly priced, even though it's a secret rare. Colossalos. The lowest right now is $2.49. Take off the 49 cents, just make it a $2 card. That's all it's really worth. It's worth 2 to 5, and that's around where it is for the average is $4.72. The highest is $19.91, but of course that's going to make the average around $5, which is fine. People are going to overprice things. Look at this shift though. This shift, it's nearly dropped 70% in price in the past 3 days and nearly 15% in the past 24 hours. Like, that's insane. People are going to start quickly realizing that these cards are not worth this much, and I can guarantee you, like, there's a regional this upcoming weekend in Atlanta. This card right now, and I can guarantee you by March 7th and 8th when the YCS in Tacoma happens, these prices will not be here. I can guarantee you 100%. Whether it's because that they somewhat go down or if they tank, Brio is not going to be this much by March. I can guarantee you. So yeah, $2 to $5 for Colossalos, 25 to maybe 35 for Brio. Trish, he is at the lowest right now at about $40. That's fair. I mean, again, if we're assuming that this card is going to be more than Brio at some point, then that is a fair price because Trish is just strictly a better card, and it's just strictly better, period. Like, it's your heart and soul of the deck. It's your MVP, really. The average is 47.55. It has gone up the past 24 hours and 3 days, which is to be expected. Some people are starting to realize that this is a much better card than all the others. But I see this card maxing out at around 30 to 40. That's my prediction. That's what I think it should really be worth. It shouldn't be any higher than that. And even whenever you look back at the past Hidden Arsenal type sets, you know, Brio maxed out at, I think, the Synchro. Brio maxed out at like 30. Trish maxed out at like 50 to 60. Now, granted, I don't believe, actually no, I know for a fact that these crazy 1 out of every 3, 1 out of every 5 boxes you'll pull 1 ratios were not in here. But at the same time, though, it shows you that these Hidden Arsenal set cards were not that expensive back in the day. So to have these cards outrageous, even with the ratios, I mean, come on. It shouldn't be this high. So, but I think this will cap off at 40, and I think that's all Trishla should be worth. Unicore, $5.24. I'm actually very happy with this. Most people are offering like 2 to 4, some are like 5 to 6, and as you go down, it gets more and more expensive. But I'd say about 5 to 10 for this card. If you can pick this up for $2, then you plus by about $3, which is pretty nice. So I'd say about $5 for this on the low end, 10 at the highest. And then Decisive Armor, only $1.98, which is amazing. If you can pick up this card for $1 or $2, you've plus pretty hard, which is awesome. So yeah, I'd say about $2 for this, $1 or $2. Same thing as Shrit. So we're gonna assume when we do all of our adding up and stuff, $2. So you need 1 Decisive Armor, so that's 2 plus 2 Shrit, so you're at $6. Valkyrius, this kind of jumped up a little bit then from last night. It was at $34.95, and now it's at $64.37 across the board. This person is selling it. Super Games is selling it for $39.97, which is amazing. $40 for Valkyrius. I think it should be around the 15 to 20 range. If you can pick it up for $15, good. You got it on the low end. It does not need to be a $40 card. Yes, it what am I trying to say? Yes, it's a Swiss Scarecrow, but it doesn't need to have that $40 price tag. It's actually worth more than Trish at this moment in time. So if I remember correctly, what Trish was $39.99, yeah, and Valkyrius is $39.97. So this card needs to drop down to about 15 to 20 before you start picking it up. And finally, Kaleidoscope, $5.95. The lowest is $6.48, but this is selling $5.95 plus 49 cents for shipping from Ideal 808. So that's not too bad. I'd say, again, 2 to 5. If you can pick it up for 2, good. And you know, you need to let these prices kind of settle down before you guys decide to buy all this crap. Because I can tell you right now, if you go on tonight and you buy like 3 of every single Nekroz card, you're going to end up with about $700, my prediction. Like 3 of every single card, you're gonna probably end up with around $700 or so. Because I ended up with 500 last night, and that was with only 2 Shrit and 2 Trish, triple Brio, and I forgot to do the unicorns, which probably would have been like another, like what are they now? 5 apiece. So yeah, I was at 495.30. So tack on another 15. You're at over 500 right there. So that's not worth it. So now that we have all the lowest prices out of the way, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna add all of this up, and I'm going to tell you guys what my final equation is. Alright guys, I'm back, and I couldn't remember if I had already done Shrit, or excuse me, Colossalos or not, because I was going through here and I had like already added up 6, because I combined the 2 Shrits together with the Decisive Armor stuff, so I was combining stuff together, and so I may have messed up on the math, but before this it was $194, and then when I tacked on another $6, if I didn't already do Colossalos, I ended up with 200 on the dot. So $200 on the dot for my Nekroz build, which is right here. So just the cards that you need. I'm not talking about like, you know, Dance Princess and Senju and whatever. Just for triple Colossalos, triple Brio, triple Unicorn. Excuse me, that's not the right one because you don't run triple Valkyries. Here we go. Triple Brio, double Trish. Oh, double Colossalos. Okay, so 198 then. I don't know why I have 2 in here because I should have 3. Oh, because this is an older build. Just kidding. Sorry, I have too many builds on here. So 3 Brio, 3 Colossalos, 3. No, okay, this should only be 2 Trish, but you get the point. Ignore this Trish. Just 2 Trish. 2 Trish, 3 Unicorn. Okay, 2 Valkyries. Double Exo, double Kaleido, and double Cycle. Which, ignore the Cycle because that's already out. Yeah, this is probably the most accurate build. So yeah, triple Colossalos or double depending on your build. If you're running 2, then it'd be 198 instead of 200. So yeah, all these rituals that you see here, if we were to add in a 3rd Colossalos, and then double Kaleidoscope and double Mirror, that's $200. So if you guys have Nekroz stuff and want to sell me all the ritual stuff, I'll pay you $200 up front. I have cash. That's not including the extra deck. Like I said, this is just including the ritual monsters. So I think the most that you should pay for this deck, again, for these ratios of triple Brio, double Trish, triple Colossalos, triple Unicorn, double Valkyries, double Kaleidoscope, and double Mirror, $200. That is the most that any of you should go, and I'm going to say it again, even though I've probably already said it 10 times in this video, wait. Wait until these prices start to fluctuate once the market gets filled with this set, once everybody actually gets their hands on it and not early. Give it a couple weeks. Come back to the prices, see what they are. There's going to be a regional this upcoming weekend. The Secret Forces will be legal in Atlanta, even though it's just a regional still. We'll be able to see decklers from Vexy and everybody else, and even from the card guys too, because I know that they're going. They just made a video opening up packs from Secret Force, and they said that they're going. So wait for the deck lists. Play test them, see if you like how it's running here in the TCG, and if not, play something else, and if it's too expensive, just play something else. But if you really want to play this deck like me, let the prices drop first, because as the market gets saturated with more and more of the people having these cards, then the prices will continue to drop. And I can promise you, Brio is going to tank eventually. Give it a month. It will tank. It will tank compared to $94.11 price tag. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I know this was a long video, but if you could, please rate, comment, and or subscribe. And let me know about what you think about these crazy-ass prices. I know I don't like it one bit. I'm going to let the price drop before I buy the stuff. And yeah, I am outie. Later, guys.